Howdy! Welcome to Internet Roundup, the rootin'est, tootin'est, wild, westin'est internet show on the World Wide Web.
Yes.
That's Josh, and I'm Chuck, and we normally do the Stuff You Should Know podcast that is better than this.
But light years better.
But we also like to goof off in here in the studio 1A and round up interesting things to share with you, the viewing audience of dozens.
What are we going to talk about this week, Chuck?
Well, Josh, you found this article, and I am surprised because I don't pride myself, but there's not very many advertising campaigns from the 80s that I don't, that I forget.
Did you go back and look at any of these ads?
I don't remember any of these.
It actually jogged my memory slightly.
Not at all. So what we're talking about is the Burger King Corporation and their Where's Herb campaign.
Yeah, which was a response to, unimaginatively, to Where's the Beef?
Like, what else can we say where?
Yeah.
About?
And the whole idea behind the campaign was that there was a man out there named Herb who was the only person in America who'd never had a Burger King burger, like a Whopper or what have you.
Sure.
And they targeted this ad campaign toward Herb and really got like a lot of national apathy in return.
Yeah, and we say Burger King, although they may have the final say, we should specifically say it was a campaign devised by J. Walter Thompson Advertising Agency.
If that was an advertising firm's name, I don't know what is.
Yeah, so they've been around forever.
One. Yeah.
And they still are. They're going strong, even though, as we will learn, they lost Burger King's business forever.
Yeah.
So the first weird part of this is that they didn't start out with, like, here's this guy, Herb. It was just some guy, we don't even know what he looks like. So there was literally no face to this campaign.
They had his parents, his school teacher, his friends, all talking about him, but not him.
They were trying to build a mystery, I guess, but you can't build a mystery when no one cares.
No, and then, okay, I get building a mystery, but they also were simultaneously running a sweepstakes, basically, where if you spotted Herb in a Burger King, you won $5,000. Again, no one knew what Herb looked like.
Yeah. Not only that, but you could get a Whopper for 99 cents if you went in, and when you ordered your Whopper, say, I'm not Herb.
Which was quite a deal in 1985 because Whoppers were $1.09.
Or if you were Herb, named Herb, I think you could say, I'm not the Herb you're looking for to get the same deal.
Right.
Not like anyone would ever know.
So this thing is not taking off very well. They finally buy some Super Bowl spot.
Sure.
And reveal Herb. And it's a huge disappointment. No one cares what Herb looks like. And even if they did care what Herb looked like, they're mad now. It's just some dude, with like a nerd, basically, from the 80s. And the thing really started to just go south. So much so that Burger King even reneged on their... In a way, they reneged on their $5,000 bounty on Herb.
Oh, yeah. There was a 15-year-old boy who spotted the real Herb. And, well, what he was going to do was go to arrest a Burger King in each state.
Okay.
And you could have a chance to spot him.
Fantastic.
So this 15-year-old boy in Alabama spotted Herb and tried to claim the prize. And they're like, you're not 16, pal.
He's like, I'm 15 3/4.
Yeah. I'm this many. And they said, we'll give it to your friend who was with you. Which,
like, he didn't spot Herb?
Yeah, I imagine that friend gave him the money, though, don't you think?
I don't know, man.
No? Well, he's not a friend anymore.
No.
I can tell you that.
Agreed.
So it was a big disaster. Wendy's, actually, it's bad when your competitors can ape your campaign to their own benefit. And Wendy's was like, Herb hadn't been eating at Burger King because he's been eating at Wendy's.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yep.
Randy Quaid played him on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, he did. And the guy who played Herb with Clara Pell, the Where's the Beef lady, were like timekeepers on a WWF match.
Really?
If that's not mid-'80s, I don't know what is. That almost makes your head buckle in on itself.
Do you know what's sad is people were probably like, oh, look, it's the Where's the Beef lady and some dude.
Some dude. Who's the guy? Is that supposed to be Randy Quaid? You ask, though, how bad could this have been?
Yeah. How bad?
Burger King's profits dropped 40% in 1986.
Yeah, I wonder if that's directly tied to Herb.
That was all Herb.
Yeah? I'm sure he had something to do with it.
Let's go to Bangalore in India, man.
Well, we're going to have some pictures up here just scrolling.
Here, let me bring them up. Pretty nice.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So what you're looking at could look lovely. It could look like a weird rave, a lake rave, bubble party. You know when they used to do those?
Yeah.
But what it really is sewage and disgusting chemical sewage.
Detergents, oils, stormwater runoff, all mixing together to make this very peculiar toxic foam. And it looks like it's just a cloud from heaven.
Yeah.
But if you do not want to get anywhere near this, and it's very hard to avoid if you're walking around parts of Bangalore.
Yeah, it's basically raw sewage in the form of this foam spilling onto the streets. It's disgusting. It stinks. It's a public health risk. And it's all over the place in this 9,000-acre lake.
And someone named Debashish Ghosh has been taking these pictures, ostensibly in an effort to shame everybody around Bangalore to do something about this. And it's not just this foam. Apparently, Bangalore is the Cleveland of India because that lake caught fire twice in the last year.
Wow.
When your bodies of water are catching fire, it's time to sit up and take notice.
Agreed. Apparently, there are laws in place. The Center for Science and Environment told the New Indian Express that while there are laws, they have no teeth. So it just no one cares enough to do something about it, it seems like.
Well, hopefully that will change Bangalore.
Until then, put on some house music, get out the glow sticks in your baggy pants, and pretend like it's 1997.
Maybe put on a biohazard suit under your baggy pants.
That's a good idea. You got anything else?
Jinx.
Ooh. All right, we have nothing else in synchronicity, which means it's time for us to go to our own bubble party. We will see you next time on Internet Roundup.